as other folks join in. Um, my name is Irene Mendez. I'm the Global Program Specialist here with Rice Global. I work with student programs and getting everybody set to go to Paris, as well as getting the word out about our program. And I'm going to pass it on to Dr. Yao to talk about the course a little bit. This is the information for Anthropology of Food and Immigration that's going to be taking place in Paris during session 4. And I'm going to pass it on to you to just introduce yourself, and then we can talk a little bit about this course and what to expect from it.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Erin. My name is Huazi Jia, and I am assistant professor of anthropology in the anthropology department. And I finished my PhD at the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor in 2022. And I primarily work on China and Tibet, and I'm an environmental anthropologist. And I also make documentary films as part of my scholarship. So maybe I can briefly introduce this course. Could I? Yep, thank you.
Yeah.
So this course primarily focuses on Paris as a major immigrant hub in Europe, but not only in Europe, but in globally. And it examines how food helps immigrants preserve their identities, form communities, and also lead dignified lives in new and challenging environments. It introduces students to key theories in the anthropology of food. There's a very big literature on anthropology of food. It's one of the most exciting subfields of anthropology. And it explores questions like fundamental questions, academic questions like why food is central to culture and how it reflects a sense of belonging, social change in politics, social issues. And so topics in this course include the food's role in identity, class, migration, gender, race, belonging, and the development of immigrant and indigenous food traditions. So that's the main focus of this course. Maybe I can briefly tell the kind of the outcomes of this course for the students is first one is to understand and apply basic anthropological concepts and approaches to the study of food and immigration. And there's no prerequisite for this class. And as the instructor, the professor of this class, I don't assume students to have any knowledge in this field. That's my job to teach and also to introduce a holistic background on the anthropology of food. And another one is the using food as a means to study daily experiences of immigrants. And then third is using food as an entry point for anthropological and qualitative social science research methods. So in that sense, we can rely on different practices, different traditions or different cultural practices to study social science, but here food really provides a wonderful entry point for studying anthropological and social science research methods. So we're not only studying a topic, but also studying qualitative social science research methods. And then I invite students to conduct a mini ethnographic research of immigrant restaurants in Paris. And ethnographic research, I will devote entire sessions on what is ethnography and how do you conduct ethnographic research. So as I said before, I don't assume the students to have any knowledge, and it's my job as the instructor to provide the necessary tools to conduct this mini ethnographic research successfully. And then ethnographic research method has become very popular, not only in anthropology, but sociology and economics, political science, as a research method, this kind of participant observation, not this kind of armchair scholar and trying to kind of project your own ideas of what culture is, what food is, but participating in people's kind of very making of their culture or the making of their food and interviewing techniques. So this kind of participant observation, ethnographic research methods has been adopted by not only different social science fields, but also corporations and this kind of kind of successful IT companies to do user experience research and so it's for this course I have two primary focus. One is the topic of food and immigration, and the other one is introducing the ethnographic research methods. Yeah.
Great. So how do you think, how are you going to integrate Paris into the course curriculum itself? Like, um, just how is it that you're going to use Paris as the classroom, for example?
Yes, thank you so much. So if you look at my syllabus, almost every other day I would take students to a particular international market or a particular restaurant with a special focus on immigration. The reason I would like to, I mean, I could teach a course on anthropology, food in general, but I think sometimes it's good to have a particular focus. So the focus is really the relationship between food and immigration. And also Paris is amazing in the sense it has, all kinds of immigrant restaurants. There's a Morocco food or Iranian food, Tibetan food, Nepali food. And so the idea is to get a sense of how people get kind of established sense of community or a sense of belonging, a sense of culture and home far away from their homes. And so Paris being one of the major immigrant cities in the world. So in my syllabus, for example, I have um, on day two morning class time and then lunch at this immigrant, the Japanese restaurant. And afternoon there is the largest international food market. It's an afternoon tour, and then we and get an understanding of the food scenes, and the restaurants also need to buy all the ingredients from a particular place, right? So it's getting an understanding of the chain. Yeah. So and in addition to that, I have a plan, a lot of plans to take students to different restaurants, and part of that is also for if the students have a particular background, let's say in Chinese culture, or background in Bangladesh culture, or Tibetan food, or something like that, they can pick a particular food culture, immigration food culture that is relevant or near dear to their heart, right? And so the another one is there is this amazing immigration museum in Paris. I think it's one of the largest museums in Paris, and I think that would be a very wonderful place to see how a sense of space is being created for people from different immigrant backgrounds. Yeah.
Would it be helpful for me to share the syllabus to kind of see what that looks like
Yes.
for
Yes.
students?
Please. Please.
Okay.
Yes. On my syllabus, I think um, you know.
I can pull it up right here because it's on the
Oh, okay.
website.
Okay.
So I can share it here on the screen if you'd like.
Mhm.
Share. So this is linked right on your webpage that I created for you.
Nice.
And so students can go, I can share that in a second as I talk about the program, but they can find the syllabus draft right on your webpage, and
Mhm.
it shows kind of what you're hoping to do every day. Again, this is still a draft because I know some of those, depending on availability in Paris, some of
Yes.
that might shift around on certain days, but we're trying to keep it as close to this as possible.
Yes.
Um, and then students can take a look about what you were just talking about, like the different places you're looking to go to, and um, how that's going to look for the summer for your course.
That'd be great. Yes.
Yeah.
And we have wonderful staff members in Paris, and I've been to Paris and attended several conferences there. I know the place relatively well, but I'm not a local potato in that, so it's think I might update some of the places and options, and also availability is one, safety is another one, distance, and also having the diversity, and all of that is very important. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what's also really nice is the students actually stay in the 13th arrondissement,
Okay.
which
Good.
that area is actually there's a lot of Asian restaurants and cultures like well known for I've heard it called like a bit like the Chinatown of Paris.
Um,
Um
oh,
yeah, and I so that's definitely a place you'll want to take a look at because it's really close to the student residences. And it's really, really great food. I actually stayed
mm-hmm.
there on one of my trips when I went there. And it was that's a great location too. That
Yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah, for my classes, of course, in the first few days, it's more of the kind of theoretical background of anthropology of food, and it's an academic discipline. But I also would like to combine, since I'm a documentary filmmaker, I like to combine documentary films, but also non-academic books, but still very much exploring the same kind of questions. And one of the books that I would love to read with the students is this book written by a Chinese American immigrant. His name's Curtis Chin, and the title of the book is Everything I Learned in the Chinese Restaurant. It's his memoir, and
Mhm.
so it's wonderful to kind of I mean, when we tell stories, we rely on different kind of narrative devices, and or a different kind of characterization or narratives, and so food, if you focus on food, you can you can really explore so much about the social changes, cultural changes, and political changes, and all of that. Yeah, it's a wonderful book, and there's a film about this as well.
How would you describe your teaching style? And like, how do you see the days kind of looking like for the class itself? I know that we're still figuring out the schedule a little bit, but and we can see the syllabus, but is it, how long do you think it's gonna be for like actual class time and then going on these excursions and things like that?
Yes, yes. Thank
Mhm.
you so much for that question. I think that my class style is, first and foremost, it's really important to create a sense of community, and a community where everyone is respected, and where the knowledge, whatever knowledge we're going to learn, it's not this kind of only individual consumption of the knowledge, but it's really the class discussions and this kind of thoughtful engagement and close readings of the text or an analysis of films. So in that sense, first and foremost, in my first few days, I try my best to create that environment. So the first, I have to create a community where people, oh, now this is a kind of safe space where I can respectfully exchange my ideas on topics, and I think that is very important. And for example, the class participation, my style is that as the instructor, of course, I play an important role in inviting people to contribute as much as possible, but also as a community, it's really important for all of the participants in the classroom. If maybe some members of the community are not participating, it's important to invite them as a community. Sometimes one, as the instructor, may kind of not pay attention to one or two particular members of the community or the classroom. So in that sense, I try, a really core to my teaching philosophy. And the second part is, my in terms of teaching style. The first few days, there'll be a few lectures because it's the kind of providing the intellectual lineage background or the kind of a broader literature on this topic. And after, as we learn more, as we kind of, after we have that knowledge, and then there'll be more and more discussions, and so that will change because, okay, now we have a pretty good understanding of how food, the relationship between food and culture and people is being theorized in academic works. And then when we studying, learning about different case studies, then it's more of a kind of discussion based. And so since this is a course on food, and almost every other day I take students to a particular food scene or culture, and then also as we move on to the kind of the week 3, then there will be opportunities for students to kind of do individual ethnographic research projects of particular places. Yeah.
And is that kind of what the final project is going to
That's
look
the
like?
final project. Exactly.
Okay.
That's the final project. And before that, I will organize a workshop on kind of how to conduct ethnographic research and how to do interviews and so a big kind of session on that topic of how to do this. And then that's the kind of, yeah, the final research project is studying a particular immigrant restaurant and get to know some of the people as well. And and so in that sense, it's not only stories about food, but the stories of how food kind of connects people to culture, to places, and to feelings and all of that. Yeah.
Well, that sounds lovely. Is there anything else you want to talk about regarding the course before we move on to the program information?
Um, No, I think that's all. I think I've prepared here all the questions, and yeah, I look forward to teaching this course. It's one of those wonderful topics that can really spark a lot of discussions. Thank you so much.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm just going to quickly just talk about the program itself and kind of show the website a little bit more on how to find the application. So let me share my screen again. Give me a second. So again, this is for session 4, which is July 21st through August 8th. It's a 3-week program. And then this is the QR code that will take you directly to the course webpage. And that has the application included along with a lot of the information that we've talked about during this presentation. Just some fast facts. This is Rice credit. This is not like study abroad. This is an actual Rice course that you can register the same way as any other summer course. So there's no transfer needed. It's taught in English by an Rice professor. And this is a 3-credit course. There is financial aid available for financial aid eligible students. But on top of that, Rice Global, our office, does provide both tuition and travel awards without you having to be on financial aid. So you can apply whether you're on financial aid or not, and you can apply directly right on the same course application. There's a couple of questions about need and additional assistance required. Just answer those questions, and then our office tries our best to help in that way to get you guys to Paris. And the other thing that's nice is this is a 3-week course, so you can do an international experience with the flexibility to do other opportunities for the summer. Since this is session 4, a lot of students can do something for most of the summer, and then at the very end, they can take this course right before classes start. This again is July 21st through August 8th. The location is the Rice Global Paris Center, which is located in the Marais in Paris. The Marais is a really amazing area of Paris. There's a lot of, it's a very hopping side of town. There's a lot of museums nearby, and you wouldn't even know that this beautiful historical building existed right in the center of this area, but it does. And it's a wonderful campus that we have in Paris. This is open to any Rice undergraduate. There's no prerequisites to take this course. Tuition is $1,800 per credit hour, and this is a 3-credit hour course. That covers your housing in Paris for the 3 weeks, transportation, so you each will get a Metro card that takes you everywhere around Paris for that time that you're there. All course set excursions, all these places that you'll be going to, are going to be covered by the program, in addition to 3 group meals that you'll have just for the program itself. So that and travel insurance. We're also working to see if we can get any just something additional added to this program to help with getting you guys over there. I'm still working on the logistics of that, but check back on the website or feel free to email me at pariscenter@rice.edu about that. Like I said, if you already receive financial aid, you're eligible to receive aid for up to 9 credit hours a summer for 2 summers at 50% the tuition rate. What I do in order to help you determine that is our office works directly with the financial aid office, who tells us if you're eligible for financial aid, and then at that point, if you how much of that can be applied to this program. So it just depends on if you use the financial aid for any other 2 summers during your time at Rice. But if not, you should have that available if you receive financial aid. And they'll let me know exactly how much you have. I'll let you know in your award letter if you're accepted to this course. So you don't have to even worry about that, but you're welcome to reach out to them prior to any letter to find out. But I will let you know exactly how much you have available if you're accepted. And on top of that, like I said, we do have additional assistance from Rice Global, our office directly. And again, I will let you know how much you get in that award letter, so you don't have any questions about how much you're getting as far as financial aid or any awards from our office. In addition, there's a lot of other pockets of money around Rice, all around different departments and different colleges. I have some of that information listed in our website, but you're welcome to reach out to me if you're wanting to learn more about that. And you can always reach out to me at pariscenter@rice.edu. And then lastly, just the deadline to apply is January 31st, 2025. And I just wanted to show you the course webpage a little bit more. You can find this on our website, just global.rice.edu. If you go to Paris Center and Rice Global Paris Summer 2025, you will find this course webpage link there. As you can see, you can directly apply right from this page. It'll take you to the application for this course. And then we'll have this recording posted up here along with, this request information opens up the email for pariscenter@rice.edu. If you have questions about the program or the course, you just feel free to email there and I can answer anything about the program, and any questions for the course I can pass to Dr. Kiel. And just all this information we've talked about is here. And again, like I showed earlier, you can find the syllabus linked right here. So you can take a closer look at that in order to better understand what's going to be part of this course. And additionally, even linked here, if you go to our student program page right here, this is just all information about the student program itself. Again, this will take you to the different courses being offered for the summer 2025. If you go here, this FAQs page just gives some quick FAQs for prospective students that are admitted, and any kind of pre-departure questions, and students that want to know a little bit about arriving in Paris once they've been accepted. This travel guide will be provided to you if you're accepted. It's a Canvas course, and it's just a more in-depth guide, kind of everything you need to know about Paris and living in Paris and safety and things like that. But then we also have a more digestible web page just to see like where you'll live. This video shows kind of what the residences look like, and what you will each have your own room in these residences. You won't have a roommate. It's your own little apartment with its own bathroom and kitchen, and obviously bed and an area to like a desk and things like that. But you can take a look at this video to see what that looks like. It also shows you what the center looks like, so you'll know where you're going to study as well. And just more tips about how to get around in Paris and other information about Paris and etiquette and some useful French phrases. But again, you don't have to speak French in order to go here. We have a lot of staff available in Paris that can help. We also, all the residences will have RAs on site. So, and they're all fluent French speakers. So there'll be another resource for you to get around Paris. And that's it for me. Just again, if you have questions, please send us questions via email at paircenter@rice.edu, and we'll be happy to answer. And thank you for watching this video.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Mm.